Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? Well, we had to pick up some more wood here. We picked up three Douglas fir 2x4s just to make sure we have enough here to do this, and we also picked up a 2x4 8-foot pressure treated. What I had to do here, I had to cut off about 4 inches, bring this down, because the slope wasn't enough. The pitch was not enough. It was almost flat. So unfortunately, my head may hit this, especially at this end here, because the ground comes up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is put one of them pool noodles across the top. When I bang my noodle into that, I'll be hitting the pool noodle instead of hitting the 2x4 with my noodle. So that's what we're going to do. So I got a pressure treated 2x4, as I said. We're going to put it in, dig it down a little bit, and put it into the ground. And this will stay here because this is going to be, this is necessary. And we got this nice pressure treated 2x4. Straightest one I can get. And the rest of the 2x4s that you see over there will be used for the necessary top. Now, I better get started on this. So what I'm going to do, now that I got this where it's going to be, and the problem's going to be the 2x is going to sit this way. This is going to be a 2x4 like this across here. So in other words, the roof is going to be pre-made, angled, similar to the way I did the shed. I mean the porch. So the height is right here. This just if I bend over, I won't hit this. But for walking, and I'm always banging my head into things anyway, so we'll put a pool noodle right here. That's all, because there's going to be an overhang. This roof is going to overhang just a little bit here, coming out like that. It'll come out a little more here, but as long as it don't come out lower than this, I'll be okay. And then I'll put a pool noodle across the inside there. You'll see how I do it when I get to that point. I notched out this 2x8. Had to be a 2x8 because the 2x6 was not wide enough and it didn't overlap a little bit. I wanted it to overlap, so we had to cut out around here. So because I can't remove this yet, so we just cut out around here. Now over here is where I'm going to put the other 2x4, the pressure treated. Then I'll notch that out, and it'll be in the ground. But I can't do anything. I couldn't remove this, so I had to notch around it. Otherwise, I'd cut it off and I'd have no structure here at all to support this thing. Like I say, I may leave this piece in, but I'll remove probably everything else. So right now, I'm going to drill and nail that down with number 12s. It lays flat so I don't have to screw it down. See, when I did this, when I drilled this through here, the screw went halfway into the 2x6. That's why I put that little nail in if you watched the first video. Some wood, it don't go all the way in. Other woods, it does. I guess the wood is softer. I don't know. It's all Douglas fir, but I don't know. So we're going to get this secured down, and then we'll continue. We're going to make a piece that comes, a 2x4, that's going to lay here. I'll get this piece here to show. We're going to have a 2x4 that's going to come out here. Now this is, like I say, this is about a 1/4 inch or so too short, but no big deal. We're going to have the 2x4 come out, and that'll be attached to the 2x4 pressure treated that you see over there. Okay, now I've decided we need to come out. You have to think of these things sometimes, and if you don't think about it, you screw up, and I'm great at doing that. Now, you remember I added this, okay, because I came out more. So I have to add one here to come out. Now we're going to leave that post in, of course, but we are going to remove this, and as I said, probably remove this. But there's going to be a lot of hammering on this right now, so we need to keep it all together. And we put the angle, we decided to change the angle to 10 degrees, because we needed a little bit more pitch on that. And of course that brought me down, as I showed you, a little lower than I wanted to, and run the risk of banging my damn head into the header over here, which is going to sit on top of this. Now, you may ask, why did I put in another post? Well, there are two reasons for this. First of all, if I want to keep this post in for support, I needed to do this, and in addition to supporting the corner post, which is going to be pressure treated, that's going to go into the ground, because there's no real way to nail it. So you're going to get this business here. We don't want rickety workmanship here. That's one of the reasons why I bought the extra 2x4s, and I still got 2 more 8-foot 2x4s here. And about the only thing I'd probably end up using them for is the header to come across here. So there's actually 2 posts here, but the generator, the entire generator is only 30 inches long, and that counts the hinge where the handle that I made, that counts that also. This opening is exactly 30 inches. So this post is not going to be in my way, so we're utilizing it. But we are, like I say, we are going to cut off this. If I can ever get the damn blade out of my reciprocating saw. For some reason, I couldn't get the other blade out when I was using it on the last project. Oh, I don't know. A hell of a time getting the blades out. The set screw came right out and the blade still wouldn't come out. So I got to play around with that today, I guess. But anyways, we're going to get this. We got it, as you can see the angle. Alright, so the head is going to go here, here, and when I get this pressure treated post in, that one there, in the corner here, and the footer down here. And then I'll notch out this for the 2x4. And then we'll bring the 2x4 pressure treated right out even with this. Not back here, but out here. So that way we don't need to go with a double one. We're only doing that because of this. If you get my drift. I am a little drifty, but I do get things done. What I do is, you want the face to be the same. So you lay a straight edge, in this case this board here. And then you lay the 2x4 in here. Of course, before I cut this, the board was out here. So I laid this in here like that. Drew a line here where my finger is. If you can see it, right where my thumb is. Right there. And then backed it off 1.5 inches more and drew the line and then cut it. Now what's going to happen here is this piece here is going to be notched out. So when the pressure treated 2x4 goes in, it'll sit like this. And then she's all flushed out all the way down the line. This will give me some support. This and this will give some support. Now what I'm going to do is, after I get the pressure treated, I dig down here as deep as I can, set the pressure treated 2x4 in, mark off where the angle's going to be so that everything's level. and then nail the whole shebang in there. And then put braces between the new 2x4 pressure treated to this. So that'll give it some support this way. That's why I didn't want to remove this. What I did is I dug down as far as I could, probably about 6 inches anyways, and drove, you can see the hammer marks, drove this 2x4 hard as I could into the soil and put some stones in there and banged it. That's how I did the deck, because this is pressure treated, and that's why I wanted to do it that way, pressure treated wood. So now what I got to do is put my straight edge across here so I know where to cut off the 10-degree angle here. This is just temporary to hold it in place, and then we'll check for squareness here because it's just stuck in there right now. And then the foot, which has already been cut, will go right in like that, and then it'll get nailed or screwed in here and in here. By itself, I don't think this would be too strong. That's why I wanted to keep that in there. And then on the inside, I'll put a plate across or something. Even if I have to drop another piece of 2x, a short one here, to make this even to come across here. But I'm not sure yet if that's even needed. So what we're going to do is level this out, put the straight edge across the top here. I got my Harbor Freight 4-footer, so we're going to use that, but I'm just going to show you what we're going to do here. We're just going to drop it like this, and we'll get our mark here. But we'll use the aluminum one. It's just in case this wood isn't perfectly straight. So in a sense, what we have, of course the damn sun's right in the damn camera lens, makes for a hazy video. In a sense, we've got 3 supports on the front of this, but that's the way we're going to do it because we want it to be strong. Originally, it was not really meant to be part of the shed, but unfortunately, if you want a permanent structure for storing the generator as well as using the generator, it has to be part of the shed. So that's the way we're going to do this. So we'll come back on here and 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. If you don't have a lamb, find a wolf or something and shake its tail. Alright, we're going to screw in one of the supports. This is the drill I told you about on the first video. What is it, DC7? I can't read that. DC7 something. I can't read that. I need a magnifying glass. But anyways, we're going to... You know why I use a bit this long? To get away from working. To get away from my work. Now, it just happened to be a bit that I just grabbed quick here. And sometimes it's a little too long for the work I like to be, getting into. But I want to show you what I'm going to be doing here. Now, I got this all in. But as you can see, it's not really stable yet. Now, what I'm doing is I'm putting a piece here, sister up a piece onto here, and it's going to be just like a support to go across to here to be almost the same height as this. I'm not worried about it. It's about 1.5 inches higher, but that's not the big deal because this is the fan going in here. This needs a support for this long wall here anyways. So it'll also support this, which has been nailed down into this and the footer right here. And this is down in the ground as far as I can go, so she's pretty solid. So we got to put another piece here instead of trying to nail it because we're kind of rickety and we're going to do a lot of bouncing. So we're going to screw this in. Probably 2-inch screws should be fine for that because I don't really want the points coming out. although I won't be working in this area. Everything will be done here. The only disadvantage to making it this way is I don't have as wide an opening, but that's okay. So we'll plywood this, and this will be the opening, 30 inches, which is the length of the generator. Originally, I wanted to make this much bigger so that I can turn the generator around to get at the spark plug and everything. But if I have to do that, I can just take it off the ramp and, do that. But changing the oil and putting gas in it, they'll be fine just the way it is. So I got to get going on this. I just wanted to show you what I'm going to be doing, and I'll show you when I get it all done how it's going to look. At least this part anyways. As you can see here, I got another piece sisted up there as well as that, so it'll just be a 2x4 laying across the top there that'll act as a support. Then I can remove this once I get enough support in here. I still need a lateral support for that end piece tied to this, but I don't want to come out any more than this. And these will be taken out. I'll just cut this right off here, and I'll cut this here. I think I'm just going to eliminate this thing completely. But I can't do that until I get the header in. The header is going to be all part of the wood, the framing for the roof. So I'm going to commence to screw that in now. I got 2-inch screws. 2 inch is not really good, but if they sink into the 2x4 enough, it'll grab it. The idea is I don't want points to come out. Then I have to cut them off with my bolt cutter so you don't get cut on them, and also then file them. And that's a lot of extra work. I've done that before too. I got them pre-drilled here. It's an inch and 2 inches. Well, we'll see how far it goes in here. I got the clutch. The clutch goes up to 17. And then she goes up to 17. We'll put it on 15. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Let's see how far she went in. She went in about a 1/4 inch more below the surface. That's good. I have to set that a different depth because some of this 2x6 flooring here was softer, I guess. And this pressure treated is a lot stronger, a lot denser. Southern yellow pine is what they use for pressure treated. Leastwise, that's the way they tell me. In this area, I don't know. I guess it's the easiest kind of wood to pressure treat. Actually, the clutch never... Yeah, about a 1/4 inch in. So I probably should back that off just a little bit. 13, 14. Set it at 14. Now we got one more screw here. I got to take this clamp out of the way here so I can work. She's spinning, which means the screw needs to be a little longer. But I'm not going to worry about it because that's not the main support. There's going to be a piece that's going to go across there. Like so. Like so. Well, we have to shorten this a blade thickness. We have to shorten the length of that because here we are with about an 1/8 inch space right here on that. Now I purposely did this, made it longer so that I can get this thing just right. You want everything to line up. So we're going to just take off or shave off a little bit of this, and then we'll drill and nail it in. Okay, I did quite a bit of work since it was the last video clip that I made. I'm utilizing everything. You know, this is the wood left over from the screen house. Wood is good and solid, so may not be the most beautiful looking thing, but it's on the inside. You're not going to see that. And temporarily we put a piece of plywood here because we're going to take this out and we don't want it to rack. Now I put in a piece across here as well as the one you saw earlier, and the roof is going to come up to here. The only thing is, I take this out, this is going to be unstable this way, and I can't put a piece across there because I want to bang my damn head into it. I can do that when I get ready to put the roof on. Now I could have left these flat. I didn't use my head. And I'll show you. When I put the roof on here, I plan on having the studs all pre-made and everything else. But here's the problem. See how that's tilted? I should have just cut that flat. And I don't want to do that now because then it's going to bring me down even lower and banging my head even more so. So you got this business here. So what I'm going to have to do when I make the roof is I'm going to have to put an angle on this so that she rides this way. And all the angles, of course, will be done on the rafters. I really should have done it that way, but I wasn't thinking. That's why I'm no carpenter. The pitch is correct, but I really should have left this alone and left it flat. Well, it's done now. I'm not gonna ever try to hold a skill saw and do it straight. Can't do it. I'm about ready to take the reciprocating saw and cut this off anyhow. Now, I can't get the blade out of the reciprocating saw, so I'm gonna just cut the wood, and then I'll pull the nails out. I was just gonna cut right through the nails and everything right here, but instead I'll just cut the wood right about here and then knock off the piece and then just hacksaw the nails off that stick out there. This is a good reciprocating saw. I had this for quite a few years. But you see that little Allen set screw in there? Well, I've had that thing out and I still can't get the blade out. It's caught in that little round hole there. See that hole there? And I've taken it and turned it over and tried to shake it. All I succeeded in doing is having this pin come right out. So this is a universal blade. This is good for cutting wood. But I have some blades that'll cut metal and wood. But this might cut the nails, but I'm not going to take a chance on it. So I don't know. I just can't seem to get the damn blade out of these things. There's a secret to I guess. And the instructions say to just loosen that and slide it out, but it does not. The blade does not come out because it's caught in that little hole right there. There's a pin that doesn't want to come out. I can take this whole set screw out, but I can't get the damn pin out. Something's holding it in, so I just tighten it back up and we're going to use it to cut that wood right there. So I'll be back on the video in a minute. Alright, I'll set you over here so you can watch me here. All I did is just pull it out of here. So now I can put another 2x4 and continue down. Couldn't do this before. I couldn't put a straight piece down in here because I needed the support. Otherwise I'd never be able to nail or do anything on this. So now we just got to remove this here, and then we got to remove this little piece, and we'll hacksaw the nails off. As it is, I might have cut through. I cut through the nails on that blade. That might be a combination blade, I don't really know. Anyways, we're going to clean this off. And this is going to be the entrance. This will be the service door here to bring the generator in and out. And it'll be an actual panel. From here up will be closed in permanently with the vents and everything for the roof and the top area. And of course, in this panel there'll be an additional vents, which I said would be sliding open and close, and also for the exhaust. So the question is now, do I want to cut this out of here? It's going to cause this side to be rickety. And like I say, I don't want to put a piece across here without banging my damn head into it. Because when I get the roof on, then I'll put the pool noodle across the top and I won't bang my noodle. Well, I just went ahead and cut that right off there anyways. And if I ruin the blade, I ruin it. But as I recall, I think these will cut nails too. But you really like to use a fine tooth blade like a hacksaw blade to do it. But if that blade breaks or goes bad on me, well, I'm going to have a hell of a time changing blades in that thing. And I don't know what happened, why I can't get the blades out anymore, but I used to always be able to get them out. But anyways, we're going to take and pull this out and cut these nails off. That came off easy. That just had mending plates in there that held that in. See, like here, I gotta cut this, but I don't want the blade to hit this because it'll probably bust it. So it seems to be pretty strong, even though I took out this, so that's good. This, on the other hand, is, I gotta be careful. There's still a little, you know, side to side, but I don't want to put anything across the top of that. Alright, I gotta clean up here and then so forth with the nails, file them off, because they could be, you know, you happen to rub into them or something. I'll clean off them nails like I did here. I filed them so that to be smooth, you don't get cut on them. Well, that's all she wrote for today. I'm gonna try to get a coat of oil base redwood stain on the platform there, protect that, and maybe a little bit on the flats of these until I get the roof on. Yeah, might do this too, I don't know yet. So I better get cleaned up here, put my tools away, sweep this thing off and get it painted. We'll come back on this project. So until then, don't do anything I wouldn't do.